In the clear, shimmering waters of a pristine lake, nestled deep in a lush, green forest, there lived a fish named Finella. She was breathtakingly beautiful. Her scales sparkled like the morning dew on a rose petal, and her tail fin had vibrant colors that could rival a rainbow. Her eyes, two glistening sapphires, held a captivating allure that made all the other creatures of the lake envy her beauty. Finella knew she was the most beautiful fish in the lake, and she reveled in the attention she received. Other fish admired her from afar, and even the dragonflies would hover above the water to catch a glimpse of her. With each passing day, Finella's vanity grew, and she became increasingly arrogant and self-absorbed. She spent hours admiring her reflection in the water, neglecting her friendships, and ignoring the pleas for help from those in need. One day, as Finella was basking in her own beauty, a wise old turtle named Tessa approached her. Tessa had seen many fish like Finella come and go, and she had learned the most important lessons in life. "Finella," Tessa said gently, "your beauty is indeed remarkable, but true beauty comes from within. It's the kindness and love we show to others that make us truly beautiful." Finella scoffed at Tessa's words. "You're just jealous because you'll never be as beautiful as I am," she replied, and with a flick of her tail, she swam away, leaving Tessa behind. As time passed, the other creatures of the lake grew weary of Finella's vanity and selfishness. They began to avoid her, leaving her alone in her splendid isolation. But Finella remained blissfully unaware, convinced that her beauty was all that mattered. One fateful day, a cunning angler arrived at the lake. He had heard stories of the legendary beauty of Finella and had come to catch her and display her in a glass tank for the world to see. With his baited hook, he cast his line into the water, and Finella, drawn by her own reflection, darted towards the shimmering lure. As she bit into the hook, pain shot through her, and she realized the gravity of her mistake. She struggled to break free, but it was too late. The angler hauled her out of the water and placed her in a tank, far away from her beloved lake. Finella's captivity was a harsh and humbling experience. She no longer had the admiration of the lake's inhabitants or the freedom of the open waters. Instead, she lived in a small glass prison, where her beauty meant nothing. As the days turned into weeks, Finella had plenty of time for self-reflection. She thought about Tessa's words and how she had ignored the wise turtle's advice. She realized that her beauty had been a curse, leading her down a path of arrogance and loneliness. In her isolation, she yearned for the friends and the simple joys she had once taken for granted. One day, the angler decided to release Finella back into the lake, having grown tired of his captive fish. As she swam back to her home, Finella was a changed fish. She no longer cared about being the most beautiful. Instead, she focused on rebuilding the friendships she had lost and becoming a kinder, more compassionate fish. Over time, the other creatures of the lake began to see the change in Finella. She helped those in need, shared her food, and offered her companionship to those who were lonely. Slowly but surely, she mended the bonds she had broken with her selfishness. In the end, Finella learned that true beauty was not just skin deep. It was the beauty of the heart and the kindness one showed to others that truly mattered. And as she swam through the crystal clear waters of the lake, surrounded by friends who loved her for who she had become, Finella knew that the most precious beauty was the beauty of the soul.